name is Dorcas Chibuzo. Once a teenager, always a teenager. Why did I say so? I've been a teenager, once a teenager, and I've worked with teenagers. I'm still with teenagers. Yes, I'm married to Reverend Chibuzo, who is also a teens worker. In fact, very free, very welcoming to teenagers. And our lives have been around teenagers, working with secondary school. They are all teenagers, so we are teenagers for life. I work with Redeemed People's Academy, secondary school, and you know that they are also teenagers. And I'm from Borno State. My husband is from Imo State. We met somewhere in Jos. Work with Redeemed People's Academy, secondary school. Actually, we both work there, myself and my husband. So our life has always been around the teens. I started as a teenager. Unfortunately, never had to go to the youth fellowship. From being a teenager, I graduated into a teenage worker. I had worked with teenagers with Tom, that's a teenage outreach ministry. I've also worked with Tanam, which is based in Abuja, still with teenagers, and then back to Redeem, still with teenagers. So presently I'm the Retem coordinator. So my life has always been around teenagers. I love teenagers. For me, there is no life without teenagers. They are just everything and the best friends I have. Love you guys.
Of tomorrow, I have grace, great grace. Everywhere that I go, everything that I do.
For me, like I said, I started as a teenager, of course, attending teenage club. So it afforded me the opportunity to mix up with other teenagers, where we played, we learned things together, and of course they were able to put us through because we met adults who understood us, who were able to see us for who we are and accepted us for who we were. They guided us, they taught us the way of the Lord. Not just that, they taught us to be balanced in life. With parents, sometimes you can be reserved, but with the teen workers, we were free, we opened up. So after that, I just developed that love for the work, developed love for teenagers. So even when I became a post-teenager, I just decided, let me just continue. And that was how I continued even as a worker. Now, how did Retem come about? As teenagers in Redeemed People's Mission, we had an uncle who was teaching in the children's department. His name was Uncle Alex Ezeko, his name now. But he started up. He understood the fact that teenagers are a unique group of people who are no longer children and yet not adults, and have their peculiarities. So he brought us out and spoke with us, and he started it. He started a club in the church. So the church now finally approved a teenage arm. And after that, when the Lord called him home, another person, Pastor Samson Ojero, took over from him, and he continued. We had a good relationship with him. We played with him, we laughed, we shared our secrets, we shared our burdens, we shared our love stories, everything, our ambitions. And he understood, so he continued with us until after that, one of us who was once a teenager took over the leadership, who was Uncle, we call him Elder. He is now a pastor, Pastor Yekachi. So he took over, ran it for a while, and then handed it over to Mr. Tanko, who was then a teacher in Redeemed People's Academy. We ran it for a bit and then started the first camp for Retem. And then after that, handed it over to Pastor Steve. So I had worked with all of them along the line as teenager and as a worker. So seeing what they do and seeing the benefit to teenagers, I just developed that interest and that love for the teens group. So finally, I worked with Pastor Steve as the deputy coordinator for about 5 years, and then after that, he handed over the baton to me that I'm running now as the coordinator, hoping and praying that soon I find the next person to hand it over with, though I still remain with the team. So that has been the journey so far, summarily about Retem and why I picked interest. Sorry, let me add this. Another thing is, I've met teenagers who have been afraid and who had felt they are too dirty, they've done this, they've done that, so it can't come to light. But working with the teenagers had opened my eyes to see that the ones we see as nobodies today actually become the great, personalities tomorrow. So that alone had given me the ginger or the passion to always stay around teenagers, and they are fun to be with. So this is the journey, a bit of it about Retem.
Amazing grace is the story of my life. It's not about
2022. It's actually coming up very soon. And personally, I look forward to it because it's going to be one of its kind. For as many as had attended Retem Camp, you know that Retem Camp is a camp to look forward to. It's not just where you just waste your time hanging out, but it's an impacting camp where you come, you meet God. We call it an appointment with divinity because it's a combination of so many things. The fun is there, discovering yourself, meeting God, having interest, seeing the joy and the beauty in loving God as a teenager. So preparations are top gear. We have lots of programs coming up for you. For instance, we have seasoned men and women of God coming around. We have Pastor Gideon Odoma coming around. We have teen workers like Chaplain Akinsomi is coming around. We have people like Pastor Gaius, those of you in Jos, and lots of people coming around. So it's a seasoned program. We have Pastor Chibuzo is around because we have lots of things to do. So looking at our programs, apart from the word, we have prayer sessions. You will come, you will pray with results, not just prayers for praying sake, but we're talking of where you pray with understanding, knowing that God will answer, and we have people to lead you into that. We have talent hunt, we call it talents in Retem, where God helps you to discover your talents, your abilities, your hidden potential. So we have even people who contest in music, in playing of sound, dance, poetry, name it, just anything. If you have that talent, in fact, if you check our site, you will see the invitation where you register as a person and you contest. Our prizes are good, of course, but we do it to glorify God. Then we also have for them, we have sports, of course, where you have different people who will teach you and you enjoy yourself, have fun. We have skill acquisitions, where you learn different because if you look at it, life these days, it's beyond salary earning. People who are making it are people who are able to learn one trade or the other and then are useful to themselves. So we have such provisions. We also have what we call exclusive, where we have the boys separately, the girls separately. We have boys gist, ladies gist, and we're able to look at what bothers us as ladies, as girls, as coming up, those issues we can't comfortably just discuss it with everybody. You have people who will listen to you and who will be able to give you godly counsel in becoming good fathers and mothers, great and great babes and guys. So we have such provisions. We also have praise sessions, praise parties. We also have Bible studies and lots of activities. Are we talking about food? We feed 3 times daily and we feed good meals, like good meals. If you have the opportunity of asking anyone who has attended Retem camp before, they will tell you at the end of the 3, 4, 5 days, they don't feel like going home. And we feed, like I said, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We also have a day of fast, but we make provisions for those with health issues and those who cannot take it through for one reason or the other. We're talking of security. Of course, we are very much aware of the insecurity, the state of insecurity in the nation. And by the grace of God, we have very good security. God being the chief security, we have trained securities armed to the teeth. In fact, we have civil defense and other security outfits that will be around. And don't forget, it's a school setting, so it is well fenced. Of course, hostels, male hostels, female hostels, well detached. So parents, we have no fear of how will it be, how will the camp be, will they be together or not? No. We are very much aware of that. We also have a forum where we are able to talk with them about godly relationship. When to enter into a relationship, is it right or wrong? Of course, those of them who had reasons to go into it, we look at it and we discuss with them. We also look at them and we talk about molding their lives in terms of dressing, because sometimes we have teenagers growing up and there is really no balance. There is no clear cut what to do and how to do them. We trust God to help us be able to put across and put them through as they build their lives, as they develop themselves, so that they come out well-rounded, very much balanced spiritually, socially, economically, and otherwise. So you will love it. Starts actually with workers retreat and training. We call it a workers camp, starting on the 4th. So in case you work with young people, there is a training and a camp. So this one is not for the teenagers, but for teenage workers. It's starting on the 4th to the 7th of September. And by the 7th, teenagers arrive. So we have the teenage camp proper starting 7th of September to the 12th. And our registration is 5,000 naira only. For 5 days. You eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, 5,000 naira. Other registration materials given. The venue is at the Redeemed People's Academy in Jos, opposite Army Engineers Zaria Road. So you're welcome once again. And if you check the handles, you see numbers you can contact. And if you have any questions or further inquiries, you're welcome. The theme for this year's camp is Grace. This year's camp is actually RPA based, but all teenagers from all over, you're welcome. It's open to all. So God bless you. Looking forward to seeing you and relating with you. Love you always. And once again, my name is Dorcas, so keep on watching Microphone Media. They have packages for you, and they are wide, and they bring in lots of things for you. So keep patronizing, keep watching, you will enjoy it, I promise you.
Oh, yeah. Amazing grace is the sweetest sound.